Hi folks, and welcome back to Math with Captain Rod. The purpose of this video here is to demonstrate how to use the standard form of a parabola to graph it, or just sketch a graph. What we're going to do here is we're going to try to sketch a graph of the parabola described by this equation here, y equals x squared plus 6x minus 1. So what we want to do is we want to write this in its standard form, which is, I'll write it over here, y equals a, which is some number, times x minus h squared plus k. Once we have it written in its standard form, we'll be able to identify whether it opens up or down, and the coordinates of the vertex, and the axis of symmetry. Actually, we can tell it opens up right now because the number in front of the x squared is 1. So, all right, the main feature here, the main point of this video, is how to take equations like this, make them look like this. And those are done by a process called completing the square. So the way this works is we're going to kind of separate this stuff off. We're going to put this minus 1 over here to the right. And the idea here is we want to try to turn this into a perfect square, meaning that we want this to look like x plus something times x plus something. And we want these somethings to be the same. In order for this to be equal to this, the outer and inner terms have to give us 6x. So these need to be 3 and 3. And again, you'll notice 3x and 3x gives us this middle term from the FOIL method. Now, notice though that the last product here is a 9. So in order for these to be equal, we need a 9 right there. So we'll just tack a 9 on. Now you can't just arbitrarily add a 9 without taking that into account somewhere else. We could either add a plus 9 to the left, or maybe come over here and just put a minus 9. Now we haven't changed anything because this plus 9 minus 9 is 0. So what we've done here, by adding this 9, we've taken this and we've turned it into a perfect square. Oops, I should put my minus 9 down here as well. So next line, y equals, and we'll just write this, x plus 3, the quantity squared, minus 10. All right, so we've got our parabola written in standard form. So you'll notice the a, if you will, it's not, there's nothing there, but if there's nothing, it's assumed to be a 1, and it's positive, so this thing opens up. And then we'll get the coordinates of the vertex just by comparison, x minus h to x plus 3. So the h must be minus 3. And then we'll compare the plus k to the minus 10, so k is minus 10. So the vertex of this parabola is at the point negative 3, negative 10. So I can start thinking about a sketch here. Maybe 1, 2, 3, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So that vertex is about here. Now we know it opens up, so it's going to kind of look something like this. Let's get another point or two. Another easy one to get here is the y-axis here. If we set x equal to 0, we look at our original here. If you set x equal to 0, we get y equals negative 1. So the point 0 minus 1 is already on the graph. And now we got enough to kind of sketch this thing. This has got to look something like this. And then over here, something like this. I've drawn better parabolas, but we'll just call that good enough for this example. Well, maybe we'll try again. Oops. Not much better. I think I'll just go ahead and move on. All right, so the vertex of my parabola is here. That's at the point minus 3, minus 10. Now, parabolas have what's called an axis of symmetry. This parabola is symmetric about this axis right here that goes through x equals negative 3. Oh boy, I don't tell you, I am going to go back and try to repair that graph a little. Let's try that again. Let's do this. We know that this thing's symmetric. All right, well, we're going to call that good enough for this particular example. So here's a sketch, just a quick rough sketch of this parabola. Again, we found its vertex by completing the square on it to write it in this form. The vertex of this parabola ended up to be the point -3, -10. So we start there, graph the intercept. Basically, we can then sketch the graph. I probably should have done the y-intercepts as well. I'll do that on the next example. So hope this was a reasonable start to how to graph parabolas or sketch parabolas. Have a great day.